I want to share with you the story of the Eucharistic miracle of Buenos Aires. In 1996, there was a priest in Buenos Aires who found a consecrated host on the ground, and it had become soiled. So what the priest did is what he was supposed to do, is he took the consecrated host and he put it in a receptacle of water so it could dissolve. And so he put the receptacle of water in the tabernacle to wait for it to dissolve. And about a week later, when he went to look at the consecrated host to see if it had completely dissolved, he noticed that it didn't look like a host anymore, but it had a different appearance. It was some kind of bloodied substance. And so he phoned the cardinal, who was Cardinal Jorge Bergoglio, you know that to be Pope Francis. And the cardinal told him to have it professionally photographed. And so he did that. And then they left this bloodied substance that looked like flesh. They just left it in the tabernacle. They kept it secret for a number of years just to wait and see, which the church loves to do. And a few years later, they noticed that this consecrated host that had changed appearance was still the same. It hadn't decomposed or anything, and so then permission was granted to have it scientifically analyzed. And so they sent a little piece of this substance to some scientists, some medical doctors, to have it analyzed, but they didn't tell them where it came from. And the response that came back was that this was human muscle tissue from the heart. And a little later in 1999, they sent another sample to an expert cardiologist and forensic pathologist who was known around the world for his expertise. He could analyze the heart of a person who had died and could tell how the person had died. And he was the only one in the world with this level of expertise. And again, he was in New York. And they didn't tell him where they got this sample. And so he analyzed it, and he too confirmed. He said, this is human heart tissue, specifically from the wall of the left ventricle close to the valves. And the left ventricle is what pumps blood to the whole body, to all the different parts of the body. And he said that whoever this person was, whose heart this was, this person died a severe, excruciating death. He was probably tortured. But one thing he couldn't explain is, he said, when the sample was taken from the heart was obviously still alive. You got a sample from a living heart. And not only that, but the sample you've given me is still alive. The cells are still living and beating, which he asked him, he says, how did you do this? We know in medical science to keep something alive is really important, but he was asking, how did you keep this sample alive? And when he was given the response that it was something that happened from a consecrated host that changed into the substance, he was completely shocked. They compared this Eucharistic miracle of Buenos Aires with the well-known Eucharistic miracle of Lanciano in Italy, where 1,300 years ago a priest was doubting the real presence in the Eucharist as he was celebrating Mass, and all of a sudden the consecrated host took on the visible appearance of flesh. And we still have this Eucharistic miracle in Lanciano. It was formally scientifically studied in the 70s, and it was compared with the study of the Eucharistic miracle of Buenos Aires, and they found it to be human heart tissue from the same person. And so just an amazing Eucharistic miracle in Buenos Aires, confirming our Catholic teaching that Jesus is truly present in the Eucharist. In the Eucharist, Jesus truly gives us his flesh and blood, and this is living bread. This is living bread come down from heaven. So brothers and sisters, when you receive the Eucharist, you are receiving the living, beating heart of Jesus.